Just gonna double check our audio to make sure it's all good. Alright then, hello everybody, welcome to BRL Season 12, Round 2 here, round Australia. We've got a bit of a dip in numbers, but it's nothing too bad to be honest. We've got quite a few checked out for this week, but still at least enough for a grid to be doing 50%, so should be all alright. Yeah, last time out we had a very interesting Bahrain race, but only for about the first 10 laps. Strategy was quite split in that one, and I believe Australia might be the exact same here. Very high tyre wear track on this game. Might be a little bit less so in real life, but on this game, very high tyre wear, and I feel like two stops will be very clear to see from some of these drivers. Some might risk it for the one stop, but we'll just have to go and wait and see. At the minute though, first person out by an absolute long shot, Wisburn here in the Williams. He, Nat Pack has decided to retire immediately. I think he said to me about just not bothering qualifying. Hasn't got a qualifying ban or anything. He just wants to go and retire. And I guess power to him if he wants to go and do that. But anyway, Wisburn, our P2 man last time out is Rashik Mills, who is not here for this race. Well, as a reserve anyway. Took the win last time out with pole as well. 14 drivers finished that race last time, despite having what I believe is a full grid, or about 19 drivers, 1 to 2. But our top 3 in that race was Rashik Mills, Wisburn, and Dimu. Rio Harris moving off the podium after a post-race penalty. And while it did help Red Bull massively in the constructors to have Rashik Mills there, they are not going to have anyone else in there any longer. They're going to have Kodoy sailing the flag for Red Bull only, and Haas, with their 2 drivers, they have a chance to take the Constructors' Championship lead by the end of this race. We'll just have to wait and see though. As we go on to the very first lap of the qualifying session, Wisman here going down into turn 1. Very easy to invalidate here, to take a little bit too much off the front curb there, and make sure you don't run too wide. It looks like it's on that perfectly though. Going down immediately into turn 3 though, it's very quick and flowing this section. Looks pretty nice there. Make sure to look the fronts up, and it looks all good so far. A little bit of a lift through here, just make sure you don't run wide and off the track. Fully flat through here in the modern F1 car, and that is the first sector done and dusted. You need a lot to through here, but that looked a little bit understeery there, at least on entry for Wisburn. Definitely be finding a bit more time there on the future laps, although he's burning quite a lot of the battery now, I'd say. Starts to stop that as he realises there's another DRS straight coming up, where he needs a bit more of that battery usage to happen. Should absolutely fling it through turns, I want to say 8 and 9 there. Brilliant stuff from him there as he goes into 6th gear. You maybe could do it in 7th gear, but it depends on your setup with your wings. In sector 3 now, looking pretty nice. Very technical section, sector 3 mind you. Needs a little lift here, he does exactly that. Maybe you can take it flat out, once again if you have the wings for it, but I believe some people might not. Make sure not to run too wide onto the grass, looks like he's done that well. Don't pick up the throttle too early, as you might then go into the wall, but everything seems all good for Wisburn here as he drives to the line. A 16.4 for the first lap on the board, as there's a Ferrari there starting a lap right behind with Jeremy Sapp. We'll actually go on board with him, as I believe he's also a pretty quick qualifier, and let's see if he can match what Wisburn was setting. Obviously there's a few people behind also doing laps, but we'll watch Jeremy Sapp in a minute. That was the front lockup I was talking about there. Goes in 3rd gear instead of 2nd gear, so some people definitely preferring the lower gears here, just to sort of keep the revs up, but short shifting does help with the traction overall, so we're going to have to wait and see what is a bit better. That looks a lot more committed, but maybe not as fast there. I think he shifted down an extra gear compared to what Wisman was doing. May pick up a tiny toe off the Alpine there, but nothing too crazy there. There's both the McLarens there actually currently setting laps. Essex Perry and Skillsdan. Essex Perry actually not being here for a little while, but he's back. Both McLarens actually are doing well so far. Only about half a second or so off of Wisburn. Jeremy Sapp actually, while we were talking about that, very on the limit there through the fast sweeping left and right. Looks like he took a little bit too much curve there though. Unsettled the car slightly. No lift through there, so there we go. Definitely is possible on some setups. Might not be on others, but obviously they'll sacrifice downforce for that straight line speed, or maybe even some tyre preservation there. Looked a little bit less on a little bit there through the final corner. Let's see what his time is going to be though. Anyways, P3 splits the McLarens at the minute. As Blackman there goes fastest with 16.1. He was complaining quite a lot to Lisbon pre-race about his qualifying pace being a bit awful, saying 16.0 is the most he could reach. He's already only a tenth off that in the end of things right now, so hopefully he should be a little bit more happy with himself while that is happening. Who else is currently on laps in a minute? I don't believe anyone else is close to the line. I want to say Henson or Hazard. Yeah, I think these two are really the quickest ones to reach the line, and now are actually on laps. Looks pretty nice here from Hazard. Let's see what Henson does. Looks pretty similar, looks pretty clean there, so I think both are going to have no complaints about that. ERA switches down the straight into the technical third sector. Looked a bit too much a curb there though for Hazard. Definitely could have probably taken a bit more towards the outside. Definitely had a little bit of a mess up there as well. But obviously, if the lap is at least decent, they could just find themselves, I mean, technically top 10 here, because obviously only 15 drivers, so as long as the lap is just semi-decent, they should be completely fine for it. 18.2 definitely needs a bit more of an improvement now. Henson also coming into the pits there, so not even validation. You can see on the map there, no invalidation there for him, so likely just not really satisfied with that lap, and he's going to put on a new set of tyres to go again. Anyway, though, Rio Harris, someone we haven't seen set a lap so far. What is his time going to be? 16.0. Okay, so he goes fastest. And Blackburn so far, I mean, for being such a complainer about his qualifying pace, he's not doing too bad at the minute, up to P2. Sauber actually in general aren't doing too bad here. I mean, even though there's a second difference between teammates, P2 and P7 are strong set results. As with McLaren there, P4 and P6. Coppola runs to the line, he goes ahead of Hazard, and Rose here. He's also another fast driver. Let's see what he does going through this final chicane. Definitely look like a lot more committed there in these final few corners. Let's make sure he doesn't drop it here at the final corner. It looks lovely. All good there. Will he run to the line and go fastest of all? It looks like he's going to do that. 15.7 for Rosie. He is 3/10 up on anyone in this field so far, and he is definitely well ahead of P2 Rio Harris. Is Wisburn here on another lap? I don't know. He's recharging the battery down the straight, but obviously he's to make sure this isn't just him preparing for another lap or something. Yeah, 2.8 seconds off. He is not on a lap at a minute. Exotic Swords is on a lap though, however, so we're going to watch him for a minute. Looks pretty nicely rotated there into next corner. I mean, definitely different line there, but that was quite nicely taken. Let's see if that's paid off for him. Is it a purple first sector? Let's have a look. No purple first sector, but looked alright so far. Also, that is another thing to talk about. The very fast sweeping right there into start sector 2. You do not want to touch that grass on the inside. It's very easy to do if you want to spot that apex, but you might turn in just that bit too early and it'll either run you wide, cost you time, or, ooh, and that's very committed there for Exotic Swords. Might have lost a bit of time on exit there, but definitely would have gained some on entry. However, though, looking quite nice so far. Still a little bit of battery to play with. Looks like that curve pretty damn perfect there. I think what's the best to do there actually is to just sort of just glance away from the curb, and I think he's done that just enough there, but still to be quick enough and to not miss the apex, but it's quite wide from the final corner. Definitely messed up the run-in a little bit there. Let's see what his time is though. P9. Okay, so Exotic, the only Aston Martin technically left in this qualifying session. He's only P9 on grid so far. He will need to go again. Some people aren't already going again though. Hazard is going again. Rio Harris. This might be... Oh, never mind. Okay, right. I was saying about not taking that curve at all, but Rio Harris's car has just basically just completely negated that curb. I don't know how, but he's managed to do it. And he was a few tenths up when I was looking at him. And this looks like another lap on the same set of tyres. Let me just double check this. Yes, it is. So he's definitely fueled up for 2 laps. That first lap was not quick as he can go, and it's even quicker on this lap and goes enough to be fastest on a set of used tyres. Lovely stuff from Rio Harris. Maybe even with slightly little bit less battery there, as he was definitely running out going into that first sector. However, doesn't change at the minute that he is fastest. Doesn't change where his battery is getting used. Doesn't change how much he restored to start the lap. He's quickest, so no complaints there from him, I believe. Just got to make sure no crashes happen here at the minute. Henson needs to get out of the way of Kodoy once he comes through, but that won't be for another few seconds for him at least. Kodoy, though, hopefully doesn't go to see the sight of a little bit hesitant there, or picking back up the throttle there. He did have a little bit of a moment through the middle of the two corners corridor there, so he was quite unsure when to put the throttle back up, but he seems to at least have set the car from turning round, and that's all he needs to worry about here. Is he just wants to set a lap as he's currently last on the standings. Let's see what he does here. Through in the final corner, looks pretty neat and tidy on the offboard, so we'll watch here now and see, will it be good enough for a good lap? And he's ahead of Hazard, but it's not by much. And Hazard himself is improving already, about 10th per second already gained so far. Someone else also jumped on the field there. I want to believe, yeah, Aiden, up into P5. Kick Sauber having a lovely qualifying here so far. Looks like there's also maybe possible some slipstreams here going on. Cole Pillow and Jeremy South. Jeremy South probably is making a little bit of a gap. Just make sure he can catch his teammate here, as obviously he is a little bit further down in pace at the minute. Henson also on a lap as he aborted his previous one. Let's see, nicely done there. I think probably the cleanest we've seen it taken, even if it's not the fastest, perfectly the cleanest we've seen. Looks like that Sauber looks to be on a lap. No, never mind. Yeah, Blackburn on a lap, but I don't think that's going to give our Henson anything really through here. But Blackburn a 10.5 up. He is doing well. That's a problem with sector 2. Let's see how well he goes in the final sector. He has technically got a chance here to take an unlikely pole lap if he goes to nail the sector 3. Very committed on the exit there, using pretty much just about all the track. Same there again, going pretty much flat out through that section of track there. Let's see, he's able to straighten up the car for the final few corners, looking nice on the throttle fully, using all the battery he can to the line. Let's see what Blackburn's time is across the line. 15.9, the purple final sector as well, but they probably just struggled too much in the first one. Unfortunate for him. Our Henson also, I believe, actually has validated his lap as well. So he really needs a lap here with only 6 minutes left to go. And I think Haas in general here are not looking too good around qualifying here. But their specialty has been race trim. I mean, Hazard, I think, climbed up 13 places, I want to believe, in the last race. So definitely don't count them out for some sort of good result, even if they are down in P12, P14. That was a big front lock up there from Essex Perry, mainly on the front right. As he tried turning in, just did not work for him. But he's in P8 at the minute, and definitely a few thousandths gained will put him, dare I say, up to P6. So let's see what he does here across the final corner. Got the battery to play with for the line, will not run out of deployment. Let's see what he does across the line. Not an improvement, so it's only 600ths away, but obviously no improvement will not mean a single thing for your position there. And let's see what skills Dan, his teammate, does as he's going to run to the line very soon. I believe other people are on laps. I'm just trying to see who else is where. Blackburn is probably going back into the pits. Skills Dan's about 10th up. He's probably going to jump ahead of Aiden if he keeps that pace up throughout the rest of the lap, and he does. Bridges a little bit of a gap to Wisburn there, but yeah, look at that top four. They're basically going to lead their own in a minute here. Rose, I believe, is on another lap. He was 600 now in the first sector, but I think he's used quite a lot of battery here, and he's attempting that again. Is he on a set of used tyres? I don't believe that is. I think an out lap will cost you 1 lap of tyre wear there, so I think Rose is just not really finding the pace on this second lap that he's doing at the minute. May need to come in for another last-ditch attempt, unless he can find another 10th in his final sector, maybe a 10.5. Then he might stick out with it, just to make sure he gets Rio Harris. But no, look, he comes into the pits there. He knows he's not going to gain any more out of that lap, and he's going to go back in. Wisburn very close to validating there through turn 1 on the exit, but looks all good there so far. Using quite a bit of battery already, but obviously you want to use battery on the straights. Pretty clear reasoning why, I hope. Maybe you want to use it on the corner exits as well to get the blast out the exits, but usually I thought you want to do that when you're racing on people. You want to get a better exit than them rather than just trying to do it on a qualifying lap, unless you're really desperate for that lap time. But yeah, you want to use it on the straights. You get the most power there, and it's just the best for you. Anyway though, Wisburn was only about a few hundreds down there in the first sector, so let's see, is he on still class of Rose here? It looks like he is. I think that's a few thousandths down, but looks nicely committed there through the sweeping left and right-hander, and now once again into the more technical part of sector 3. He hasn't got much battery to play with, but once again he's got a whole sector to recharge just pretty much before he runs to the line, and he's got definitely enough deployment to keep it going. Quite a lot of grass there on the front right tyre though. I think he's pushing his car quite a lot, and I'm surprised it's not invalidated him on the exits. And yeah, there we go. Does the same thing as Rose, comes in, believes he's not going to get anything else out of that lap, and he is done on that set of soft tyres. And let's also run them again. Anyway, though, Hazard, a few tenths up here. Let's see if he's able to do a bit of a nicer sector 3, as we saw in the previous lap he had with him. Not very nice on that lap. But anyway, nice sector 3 here. Probably could push Hazard. Oh, that's definitely not a nice sector 3, as he's half run round by the curb there. Very strange, actually, to be honest. I mean, you definitely got to avoid that curb, but wow, that is a big spin for Hazard. He'll come into the pits. Depending if he's got any more fresh tyres, he might retire, depending on what's happening. But I don't believe he will in the end of all things like that. Yeah, Kodoi and CEO Jarma both on laps as well. CEO Jarma, actually, I don't think I've even seen him out on this session so far. Might be wrong. But, yeah, we'll watch Kodoi. 7 tenths up. This is a lot better from him. We have seen some good qualifying pace from Kodoi on F124 as well. But this race at the minute, it doesn't really seem like he's showing too much of that. Let's see, though. He's coming across the line. He might try and prove me all wrong. Let's have a look. He's going to come across the line now. Got the rest of the deploy to go and use. Drives to the line. And he goes up to 7th. Not too bad from Kodoi. Once again, it's the only ripple out there on the track. Rio Harris, though. Not sure he's going to try another in-lap here. Or, oh no, out-lap, sorry. Let's have a quick look as he goes to apply the power. No, he's going for his last lap here. We'll have a quick look and see if anyone else is on their laps currently. I think CEO Jarma, yeah, he just finished his, so he is into the top. Hopefully no one decides to block the Alpine Rio Harris here, because he is on a lap. Most people will probably be out of sync with him as they are on some in-laps. But yeah, no, all the traffic gets out of the way for Rio Harris there, and it's looking like he should be able to freely navigate himself now. But the rest is quite a understeer there, though. Picks up the curve, and that definitely would have hindered how well his throttle was down there. Let's have a look now. Rio Harris, yeah, a few hundreds down. Definitely wants to try and commit too much there, and he is not going to be able to get anything like that. But he will need to go and recharge his battery for another lap, and he will put there on lean just to make sure he's got the fuel to go and do such. Kodoi, though, maybe I should try and do another lap here, but that fuel light is flashing. Don't believe he'll be able to do one more lap in this session. Estakaperi, I think, is also on a lap at the minute. Well, it says 600 down, but I believe that was his previous lap time. Is anyone else currently on lap? CEO Jarma looks like he's going to come into the pits. He'll be probably done with his qualifying session. Estakaperi, a few tenths up at the minute, so definitely will put him up in P6 range. Kodoi decides to retire. He doesn't have the fuel and time to go and do another lap. Let's have a look, though. Estakaperi, he's not doing too bad at the minute. Looked like pretty committed through the fast right-hander there. And he's got another fast set of corners to go and deal with now. How much is he up? 2.5 tenths. He could really go and do something well here. Nicely flicked through as well in those set of corners. Let's see it now in sector 3. He's not got too much battery to play with once again, but I think that's the same common case for everyone here. Bit of a lock up though on the front there. He might be a bit of traffic here in the final few corners as well. They need to make sure they get out of the way just in time before he gets there. And I think he's all right. He's a little bit hesitant there in the penultimate corner, but he should be able to pick up the throttle quite nicely now as he's a little bit slow out there. And looks like he's going to do exactly that. Let's see what the lap time is. Did he lose enough in the first sector? No, he didn't. He goes up to P7. Nothing too bad from him. Aiden's currently on his lap as well. And I think Rio Harris also, yeah, 10th up. We'll look at Aiden, I believe, for now. I think he'll be the first one to go and set his lap. I think that is CEO Jarma at the final corner, who I don't believe is on a lap. We'll watch Aiden first. Then I think is Exotic Swords next, and there'll be the 2 Alpines. And then mine, actually, who is that there? I do not know. It might be Whisburn, actually. Who might have been on the lap there, and maybe just starting it now. Anyway, though, Aiden going to come through the final few corners now. Let's see what he does. Qualifying is over. These are the last laps going to have to count. Everyone on track doing a lap now, other than Kodoi. Let's see it. Aiden goes up to 5th. Exotic, where does he go? He goes up to 6th. Who is next? I believe it might be Rio Harris. Let's have a look. He drives to the line. 15.5. He's gone even quicker. CEO Jarma moves to the pits here. Now both Hasses. Hopefully Hazard is not disturbing our Henson there with any dirty air, but it's going to be quite close as he runs to the front of the corner. Henson needs to make sure he doesn't pick up the throttle, but no, he's invalidated. So our Henson starting last. It's all on Hazard to go and make an improvement here, and it's not it. I mean, he isn't improved, but he's only up to P13. What about Rose to the line? Rose with a 15.2. Blackburn as well to the line. He doesn't improve by much at all. And that is, I believe, the top 3, unless Wisman has something to say about it. Looks like Skillsound also running to the line as well. Let's see where he goes. Might go P5 with this lap. He does go P5 with this lap. Who else? Jeremy Sapp and Cole Pillow. Jeremy Sapp goes at the 7th. Cole Pillow, where does he go? Still only P11 for him, unfortunately. Could Wisman try and knock anyone off that top 3 spot? Can he knock Blackburn out of it? Let's have a look now. He can't. So Wisburn starting fourth, and Rose, a bit of a healthy margin there on pole, but Rio Harris also quite a healthy margin ahead of Blackman there. Brilliant stuff though in the midfield, as I think we saw a few drivers there within a few hundreds of each other there. Crazy stuff. But yeah, shocker for Haas, I believe, and I think it was a lovely one there for Kick Sauber and all the things considered there. I think they, yeah, look at that, P3, P6, even McLaren doing a lot better than them. Anyway, though, we'll quickly run through the grid as Rose is on pole, Rio Harris alongside him on the front row, Blackburn in P3, Wisburn P4, Skills Dan P5, Aiden P6, Jeremy South P7, Exotic P8, BJR6 Perry P9, Corduroy rounding out the top 10, Colpillo just missing out on the top 10 in P11, CA Jar P12, Hazard P13, the last person who actually set a valid lap in this session. Nat Packers P14, hence a P15 after not being able to set a valid lap despite his attempts. Well then, we're going to go on to the race now. I have not been reported there's any rain, but obviously that could change. Just have a quick look. Don't believe there is. Looks quite overcast. Definitely looks a little bit dull out there in the Australia. The Australia weather is looking quite dull, but looks to be all okay from rain. Not heard anyone say about it. I think everyone is all okay. Well, no, we're just going to have to wait for our race to start now. Apparently everyone's on the hard tyres in a minute. I mean, technically, it can be a one-stop if you stretch the stints out, but it'll be very difficult to go and do that and keep the tyres in check. It could be a two-stop for everybody else, though. Let's have a quick look. Oh, no, one person shows the mediums. Cole Pillow, two people on the mediums. Oh, Henson as well. Probably looking to gain up spaces early on. Let's see if that's consistent with the rest of the grid, or they change strategies in the final few seconds. Here we go. Rose on pole, Rio Harris alongside. 5 red lights are out pretty much immediately there, and Rose looks to have got a pretty good start. Rio Harris doesn't look like he's got a great one either. Blackburn also down in P4, but Wisburn maybe trying to go running aside there, nothing doing at the minute. Is anyone going to run wide? I think there was a Haas running wide there slightly. I think it was Hazard in the background. Hopefully there's no crashes though, and I don't think there is. Wisburn here, maybe trying to go for an inside move on Rio Harris to see any bit further back. Aiden looks like he's going to go past Jeremy Shaft there. He's still side by side with him though, however. Is there any contact? It looks like Aiden just goes through, but he's got a bit wide there. Cia John as well, also wide, and he has a slot in there just ahead of our Henson. Looks to be a pretty clean start so far, as Aiden has got ahead, but he looks like he's got quite a bit of grass on his tyres there. Definitely from going wide at some point in the lap. Obviously, overtaking Jeremy South there and going a little bit wide. I don't think there's any grass out on there. Wisburn though, trying to go for a move on Rio Harris. It won't be into the fast chicane here, and he definitely knows that. He backs out a little bit. Corduroy and Essex Perry fighting here into the fast left right. Looks like Essex Perry only just got through there in the end of it, but some lovely space and racing being given at the minute. Looks like a load of moves being made though. Here we go. Jeremy Saff, no, Colpillo, sorry, on Exotic Swords. I think Exotic actually there, he's got a side of M-Pake damage. If we go and look at it again, Corduroy and CA Jama trying to fight though. CA Jama backs off, and both the Hatters are still lurking in the wings there. Hopefully, no big issues there. Yeah, look, Exotic into the pits, I believe, with damage on the left of his car, and CA Jama actually has had a bit of an issue as I just went off spectating in there. But I'd say probably one of the cleanest lap ones we've had in quite a while. No spins, no sorts of big contact anyway. Ooh, and Hazard almost decking into the wall there, but he is at least still in this race with no damage. Exotic, his team did not repair the wing, so he's going to have some big issues that he's quite annoyed once he realises that one. Anyway though, some people on the mediums, some people on the hard tyres. I believe this is a two-stop race. If anyone is going to go further on the one stop, it'll be definitely someone further back. I mean, Nat Packers, see their drama, Hazard, maybe our Henson wants to stretch the medium stint out as well. Corduroy 2, as Essex Perry has fallen out of DRS to Cole Pillow. Same here with Jeremy Sapp. Ooh, very tight though here with Aiden. I mean, there is a bit of contact. Somehow Aiden's car is still pointing the right way. I don't know what exactly happened there, but Jeremy Sapp just committed round the outside, and he just got the move there on Aiden. I'm surprised he didn't have any issues there, but wow. Almost span round, but nothing in the end of it. Oh, Henson looking pretty nice there up into P11 after not setting a lap. Let's actually have a quick look back again if I can find them. Oh, Exotic Swords out of the session. That is a Vert safety car, I believe. Let me just have a double check. I don't believe I see the safety car on the map there. No, I do not. CA John decides to come into the pits as the only person who's going to do it now. He was the only person I think really being able to react to that. So I want to believe he's going on another set of hards and a set of mediums. Probably just want to make sure he has that tyre allocation all sorted, and he won't lose too much in the grand scheme of things to Hazard either. But yeah, just about safety car, nothing too much. I think Softic just dropped it at the fast chicane there, so nothing really too out of the ordinary. I'm just going to try and count the turns here. So 4, 5. Good boy. I don't know these sort of things here count as turns right in front of us, but yeah. Anyway, I believe this is turn 6, probably turn 7. Yeah, I want to say maybe 9 and 10. I want to say is that faster than one, so he probably dropped it on the exit turn 10. Maybe got a little bit wide, and that is all that happened. But yeah, judging by the fact that we are looking pretty pacey down this straight line bit here, we look to be getting underway in a second, I hope. Wings for like blue tack, I know damage is, but it's much different than normal. I believe it is reduced to standard. We'll just make sure we double check that one for you. Yeah, reduced standard, so more things you hit. Yeah, the more times you hit something, the more likely you are to get damage. But it's on the reduced setting, so yeah, unfortunate probably for you. But anyway, look at this. It's really closed up the gap at the front. I'm not too sure what it was, but Rose on the hards is going to have some struggles here, trying to fend off the two people on the medium tyres here, Rio Harris and Wisman. They're both going to have DRS immediately. Let's see what they do with it. At the minute, looks like Wisbone isn't going to be able to make a move anyway. Neither with Rio Harris, but obviously their chance to make a move is a little bit later on. Blackburn also probably just wanted to try and sit in the wings of these two. Maybe follow them through if they can, but I think it should be all okay. Kodor looks a little bit slow out that corner as well, but he does have the DRS on Essex Perry. Let's see, will our hands be able to try and make a move? Will he try and go running outside, trying to find any sort of move there? And he is going to try it. Blackburn also lost the place, I believe. Yeah, probably believed to his mistake, actually. I think he's just gone a little bit too wide. Skills and also cutting that chicane a tiny bit there, at least the exit of it. So yeah, Blackburn is not really liking them hard tyres at the minute, especially with a lot of dirty air now in these races. Blackburn, I think, wants to try and get back ahead of Skills down. Doesn't want to deal with that much dirty air so early on into the race. Doesn't want to lose DRS either to the top 3. But right now, I don't think he can really do much as Skills down on the medium. Just looks like he's got the grip for the moment, just to pull away constantly. Jeremy Safto might be the threat from Aiden. Looks like there's going to be no moves there. Obviously, these two almost crashed going into turn 9 and 10 chicane. But right now, looking like they're still keeping things civil, and that's all we need to have. Obviously, last week we didn't really have the most civil of races for some people, unfortunately. CHR picks up a penalty as well, but once again, he does have that slight piss off advantage that he got under the safety car, so maybe he will get something done by the end of this race. We don't know, but it'll be a little bit of a long race for him as he's trying to play it out in strategy rather than anyone racing him, so he's just sort of doing laps out there, waiting for something to go work out, and it might work out in the end. Who knows? This is going to take a little while for him to go do that. Oh, looks like Essex Perry there. Got a little bit wide, though. He's got a much worse section than everybody else, and he's been passed by Kodoy or Henson, and that Packers tries to go deep, tries to find that Packers there on that curve as well, but a big front lock up there is going to stop him from doing that. He falls down to 12th after being 9th just a few months ago, and he's now going to have to deal with the dirty air off Nat Packers, as he might not even reach DRS here in a minute. I mean, obviously, quite hard to go and try and do something like this. Essex Perry, though, yeah, pretty clear there to see these as being effective on dirty air. He picks up a free ticket penalty on the outside of that corner too. Very easy to go and just sort of drift wide in these cars now, as the dirty air is so much more prominent on this game. But looks like most people aren't really being too affected by it at the minute. Not seeing any warnings for the front of the field. But yeah, realistically, not seeing any overtakes either. I mean, definitely a bit of a train starting to form at the top, obviously. Skills down, all big mistake there. He's got to sort of cut them out. He wants to try and keep the DRS. Blackburn, though, might try and get him here down to turn 1, or will he just recharge his DRS? So I don't know what he's going to do. Let's see. He's going to try and figure out moving to turn 1. He's fully ahead, and he's going to take the place off of Skills down there. Gets a little bit of grass on his tyres, though. So he now has to catch up about 8 tenths in this first sector, and maybe he wants that DRS advantage, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this at all here, Blackburn. He's got about 40% battery, I believe, there. Yeah, 38% on his dash. But yeah, look at these top 3. They've got much more ERS than him, and a DRS advantage of Blackburn simply just isn't able to get close. I believe best thing for him to do is sort of just have him and Skills down work together here, try and drag themselves back into it by using each other's slipstream. But right now, Skills down just does not look that quick on these medium tyres. I mean, they're definitely starting to wear out by now. Obviously, I said these was a high tyre wear track, but yeah, DRS is realistically keeping Skills down in it for the minute. Let's have a look as he runs in here. Yeah, they're 7.5 down already. I know he had a mistake into the final sector compromising his line at the start, but a second and a half down in already. I mean, it's lap 6, so it is pretty drastic. And I think our Henson there made a lovely move on Kodoi, I think, on turn 9 and 10 chicane. I don't know how he did it, but he definitely is past that Red Bull. Might be able to have a little bit of a look at that. Ooh, contact there, Essex Perry. I thought that was a little bit less of a hit there, actually. I thought it was just a little tap, but no. Essex Perry round and with a half damage win there. I wouldn't be surprised if the McLaren driver decides to retire from this race with that one. No safety car to go and help him either there in a minute, so he might just decide I am done for today. Anyway, though, top 3 still looking like it's pretty much the same as our qualifying at the minute. Nothing too drastic so far. Yeah, really, sort of waiting for most things to happen. But right now, Rose sort of using the advantages of the clean air here. Just sort of pull away from the other people, despite the tyre advantage that they might have on the softer medium tyres compared to his harder tyres. Yeah, not really losing too much at the minute. I mean, definitely is using some battery, obviously, because, yeah, Wisburn, Rio Harris, and Rose, pretty much all similar levels of battery, but yeah, it's realistically just the fact that Rose at the minute just sort of getting such a better run through these high-speed corners because he just has just clean air completely, just completely clean air, just go and do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, Kodor, for example, here, maybe on the hard tyres, but this means it's time to pull away, really, from our Henson, because our Henson made it softer tyres and everything else like that, but he just, yeah, he just realistically won't have much to do through this sector because he just can't really hook up to the back of that Red Bull without feeling some understeer in that car. So I think that's what actually is keeping Rose in the lead in a minute, despite the DRS advantages that Rio Harris and Wisburn might have. But speaking of Wisburn in a minute, he's only dropping off slightly, I'd say. But he is still definitely getting courses. Blackbone out of the session. That might be a safety car there. He's stopped at the side of the track, and that is him gone. I don't know how he's done it. Probably got a little bit crossed up. Probably took a bit too much grass to his car, and he is out of this race. That is P4 gone. And that is a full course safety car. So at least Essex Perry there hasn't retired from this race. So he's got a lifeline for him there. He's got a full wing now. He can go and change that. Blackburn, yeah, really not happy with it. And I guess that makes sense. Yeah, not really liking that one. See, John actually also had a broken wing then. But he looks like he's going to be all good. Essex Perry not deciding to come into the pits again. I guess it makes sense because he is on the fresh tyres. But yeah, miserable stuff for Blackburn. He was actually having a nice quali, for example. They're up and about P4, I think it was, at the start of that race, and now it's all fell down for him. He is, well no, actually P3, my God. So Blackburn, yeah, unfortunate for him, but he is our second retirement, and at least it guarantees everyone here is going to get points now, no matter what happens, as long as they finish the race. Probably should have that after Exotic Swords crashed, but yeah, never mind. Anyway, though, what is interesting to see is if these guys at the front pit, because I think, yeah, I mean, they definitely would have to, but I think at the minute, Rose is a bit disadvantaged by this. I mean, he's on the hard tyres here, but if these guys want to try and eke it out for a one-stop here, Rita Harris, Wisburn, Skill Stand, Cold Pillow, all these guys can do that. I mean, our Henson also has already boxed on the set of hard tyres. He might try and go into a one-stop here. Rose, though, yeah, definitely was thinking what I was thinking there. Going on an aggressive strategy here, he's going to have the track position in the lead, so he might as well push it. He's on the soft tyres, and he'll probably go to a set of hard tyres or some medium tyres by the end of the race. He'll just try to use the clean air and use of the soft tyres just to try and pull away as much as he can, because he knows these guys here are going to be focusing on tyre saving a lot more than they probably used to. So Rose here will just go to the side. I want all that pace for this first stint once safety car ends, and the second stint after the safety car ends will just be him trying to manage the tyres there. Our Henson in that back is also, I think, having a little battle there at the pits, but I think our Henson just lost out on that one as he is on the hards. But yeah, interesting stuff here. The well, former top 3, obviously going to like split his strategies here because Rose was on that hard tyre, but the top 4 who were, well, the top 4, the 3 who were on mediums there, they've all gone to hards, which, well, makes perfect sense. I believe they're going to try and eke it out to one stop here at the minute, because they have got a few laps to try and save the tyres right now. But yeah, they're going to really feel the effects of the tyre where they are going to try and do it by the end of this race. I believe that they'll probably have the safety car in on the next lap once the drama comes in. But yeah, Rosé comes close to the car. Sorry, yeah, Sixperry and him sort of just trundling around the back of the field here. Just want to make sure that they get up to safety car line at a set point. I believe it'll be in the next lap, so we'll probably get going the end of lap 10. I believe 18 racing laps on the hard tyres is possible. You was going to seriously stretch them out here, and I think, yeah, Rio Harris, Wisburn, and Skillsam will have a job to do, especially if Rosé is going to go for a really aggressive strategy from the get-go. He'll probably do about 6 or so laps on these soft tyres, and then try and take some mediums to the end at that point. But yeah, this is great for him. He's got a lot of good chances here to sort of save his tyre wear on laps that realistically he shouldn't be saving tyre wear on. And just trying to blitz the field really once we get restarted. But yeah, definitely going to be a little bit here as Senior John comes in again. Probably one of his probably a new set of hards, I'm assuming. He did want a set of old hards unless he hasn't got them. So maybe 2 sets of mediums. Looks like they came out with medium tyres there. They do come out with medium tyres. He's on a fresh set of mediums for the restart of this race. But even though he's a bit further back here, he should be all good to go catch up to the field. And it should still be the safety car in this lap. But anyway, as of right now, let's have a quick look at where everybody is. So, obviously, I'm taking into account the Constructors' Championship here. So, Rosé, as a Mercedes driver, they are last in Constructors, I believe, currently. But they will gain 26 points, I believe, if he's not got fastest lap. No, he does. 27 points for the Mercedes team. They jump up to 30 at the minute, so not too bad. I'll kind of put the net P2, but I believe our people are going to score a lot more points than that. Alpine look like they're going to have a decent race here. Definitely will have a few points to gauge armor at the back there. As long as Rio Harris keep it a straight line, he will have points as well. So Alpine might be on a good run here. Williams just ahead of them, but Wisburn is the sole man in this race. And yeah, Racing Bulls as well. Well, they're not even here. Racing Bulls, I mean, they were 4th in the championship, but at the minute, nothing's happening with them. Alpine P5. Oh no, I might just skip something out. I skipped Hassel, good lord, ignore me. Well, they're P10 and 11, but one may be going for an end on a 1-stop. One might be trying to follow the 2-stop that most people are following here. Maybe trying to simply get a leg up on the pace. But anyway, we're going to take the car in this lap. I think the top 5 are all pretty much nicely covered. And I think that's all we really need to know for the restart now. Definitely the indications what we can have on the Constructors' Championship. Rosé needs to needs to really get going here, because look at this. Definitely holding up these guys just that little bit, and he's gone pretty well there. Wisburn right on the back of Rio Harris. Rio Harris has not got a good getaway. Rio Harris knows it, chops off immediately to the inside, moves back to the inside. It's a nice bit of defending there from Rio Harris, but Wisburn ruins that one there and goes straight across the grass. Looks like Skills actually hit the wall there as well. I definitely heard a little tap on the wall from someone. Wisburn immediately down to P7 on them hard tyres. He's got to be careful going into these next 2 corners. Henson, he's looks like he's going to try and go for a move on that Packers on the hard tyres. He's going to get it done. It looks like some contact at the minute though, as Wisburn, yeah, absolute awful start there. Restart anyway. And look at that, it's given Rosé such a gap. That Aiden also somehow has found something to P3 now. I believe it was only P5. But yeah, looks like he just sneaked past Skills Dan and the stricken Wisburn going across the grass as he's trying to make a move now on Kodoy. They go side by side. It's turn 9 and 10, but no, Kodoy decides to back out. He is a quicker driver at the minute, and Jeremy South is right on the back of Skills down here, giving Aiden possibly some breathing room if he can. Let's see, will Jeremy South do it? He's definitely trying to go left, right, and centre, trying to see if he's going to do any sort of thing to stop that car ahead of him, but nothing going at the minute. C.A. Jama also passes Perry. There's a Cole Pillar. I don't know what happened to him. I believe he was actually decently high up, but he's now last. I don't know when that happened or how that happened. He might have skipped the first turn just like Wisburn. I'm not too sure. But yeah, look, here we go. Rosé's plan here is in full effect. 1.6 clear at the minute of Rio Harris. He's just going to use the advantage of the soft tyres compared to the hard tyres. Just use as much time as he can out of them before they go to a very used set, and then he'll pit on some mediums and he'll be all good to go and try and catch them up from there. Wear is just as important as the softness of your tyre on this track. So obviously, while Rosé is gaining about a second a lap at minimum, here Rio Harris definitely ruined that corner there. This could put Aiden DRS range now. But yeah, definitely, as I was saying beforehand there, while the tyre softness is important in this race, obviously Rose gaining quite a bit on Rio Harris here, who's softer, hard at the minute there in terms of tyre difference. Tyre wear is just as big of a factor in this race. I mean, we saw with Skills Dan, I believe, he was on some slightly old mediums. Jerry Sapp tries to fake it to the inside. He does not get that at the end there. But yeah, Skills Dan, I think, person I was trying to worry about there at the minute. He was on some medium tyres. I remember you were telling me about 6 lap old tyres. He was 1.5 seconds off the pace. I think into the end of sector 2, which is pretty damn big for, you know, just about 6 laps. But look at that though, Jerry Sapp not getting the exit he wants. Wisburn blast right past him there. And Skills Dan now will have more company to have with Skills Dan. Let's have a look now. Oh, Hens picks up a free ticket penalty here as he's easily down there. The field, Essex Ferry, see a drama. I believe they come together as well. I think both of these two are not be very happy with each other if that is the case. Godoy though, looks like he's trying to go around Jeremy Saff there at the minute. Don't think he's been able to go and do such. But anyway, Jeremy Saff, Wisburn, all in DRS here of Skills Dan. And look at that though, Aiden here also. Look at how he's going to get a run on Rio Harris. I mean, he's on medium tyres compared to Rio Harris's hard tyres. Let's have a look here. Aiden looks like he's going to get up into P2 here. A bit of a likely P2, but he's got it. Wisburn also blasts past Skill Dan there up into P4. And his goal now is to get back towards Rio Harris. He's definitely flying out there at the minute. Rio Harris without the DRS here too to go and help him, as Wisburn does have the DRS to go and help him. Oh, Henson also side by side with Kodoy on the inside. Kodoy's very late there. He's tiny bit forced off by Henson, but I don't think it was too much there to be an issue. Jeremy Sattler picks up a free ticket penalty just ahead of our Henson there, as he actually moved ahead of Kodoy as we were talking about that one. Hazard there also trying to make some sort of impression on that package, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that for the minute. Rio Harris as well, maybe trying to catch up to Aiden, but at the minute, nothing doing so far. Kodoy now picking up free ticket penalty as well. So quite a lot of people are struggling track limits as we head further into this race. Obviously, a few might have picked up earlier on the race, but now this is where you definitely don't need any getting picked up, and I think this will definitely show who has been the cleanest out there so far. At the minute, Aiden has not been the cleanest, but he's up in P2, but Rio Harris might have something to say about that. As he goes wide again, look, there you go, proving that just, yeah, not really having anything on there. Skills Dan picked up free ticket penalty now, so most people are really struggling with tyres and how much they're exceeding track limits at the minute. Rio Harris sails past Aiden there, up into P2 on the hard tyres. He'll probably start trying to think about maintaining his position now and setting into a bit of rhythm, as Rose is 3.6 ahead, but obviously that advantage of the soft tyre, with 5 laps on it now, it will start to shrink just that bit more, and he may eventually start thinking about coming into the box eventually. But anyway though, let's have a look there. It's Aiden. Oh, very scruffy! That's him round! And obviously, yeah, 10-second penalty for Corner Guy. I don't think I agree with that one, but he's going to be really unhappy with himself there without mistake. That's going to maybe have Kick Sauber right out of the points here if he decides to retire. Let's see what Aiden does. Oh, he's got that penalty speed to it there as well. Aiden has had an awful race, and that is it. No points Kick Sauber in this race with just one mistake. It is all unraveled for him, and they are not going to score anything in this race. And Wisbo, though, has inherited P3 from that, although he's got a bit deep into that corner. He's now going to try and go for that P2 spot off of Rio Harris. These two obviously probably think about tyre management as well, but Wisburn had to blast through the field quite a bit there, so I think he definitely have a bit more lessened shaped tyres at the minute than Rio Harris. Let's see it though, because he's got the DRS advantage down this straight. So a few people here, Nat Packers, Hazard, I believe Jeremy Stafford also on Skills Dan. He's also got DRS there, but yeah, Wisburn though, looking like he's going to be able to get closer and closer to that rear wing of the Alpine. Maybe not through this fast section at the minute, but he's got a decent run so far, so as long as he just keep within half a second here, I think he'll be able to go for the next lap during those next two straights that he's just gone past. On the next lap, he'll go in and do it right there and make the move, but at the minute, Wisburn staying ahead of, no, Wisburn staying behind Rio Harris for the time being. At the minute though, Rose not really pulling away now. Ooh, yellow flag sector 3. That, see, a drama. He's had issues there. I don't know if he's actually hit the wall. No, it looks like front wing's actually perfectly intact. Never mind. So, fair play to CEO Drama. Cole Pillow into the pits as well. Don't know if he got damaged, but he is in. Not too sure why, once again. But yeah, Nat Pack is there past Kodoy. Has a sort of waiting in the wings here. As Kodoy might try and go for a repass. Don't think he's going to be able to, though. He's not got a DRS pick up. Cole Pillar, though, onto the hard tyres now. So make sure I get a little bit of an undercut going on some of the midfield runners. He definitely could go to the end of the race. 13 laps on the hard tyres is doable in this race. He'll go to the end, and let's see what he does here. Goes a tiny bit wide. Ooh, definitely lights the rears there as well as he's trying to get some temperature into them. But yeah, at the minute, Rose sort of not really having a bit more of a gap out there in the front now. I mean, he's sort of kept it at 3.6 for the past lap or so, but Whisper now right at the back of Rio Harris. Take these two fight, or will they just have Rio Harris just sort of lead the flag and the charge to Rose's time that he's had out in the lead? Let's have a quick look. Well, actually, let's see the gap difference through this last sector. Also, may not be fully representative. One person may have a mistake or the like, but at the minute, it looks like Rio Harris on probably one of those technical parts of the track, maybe other than midway through sector 1. Yeah, I mean, he's only gained about 10 or 2 overall. And I think Rose might have a nice strategy building up here at the minute. If he can probably take these tyres to about lap 18, maybe 19 as well. I don't know what the wear is for him at the minute. But yeah, if he takes it to about that level of tyre wear, I think he might be on for a good result. So I want to say these guys on the hard tyres, they're probably on about, I'm going to say probably about 30% wear overall, at least on one tyre. So they're definitely going to have a bit of a puncture scare at some point. Probably most likely that the rears are struggling out, or the front left, I'm going to say. I think the front left tanks quite a lot in this race here. Quite a lot of lefts actually on this track, which are very demanding. Obviously, in Sector 2, you have the second part of this high-speed chicane, and Sector 3 is quite a few medium-speed corners, which demand heavy left turns. But look at this, though, actually. This is quite interesting to see now. Rio Harris gaining a lot more into Rose's time now. I think Rose is struggling on them set of soft tyres. He needs to eat out the stint 1 or 2 more laps, and I think he should be all okay. Unless he's a set of fresh hards available, I don't know if he does, but that would drop him quite far down immediately. But no, he's decided to come to the pits now. He might have a set of fresh hards, but look at that, he's really trying to grip on them soft tyres. But now, this is the battle for the lead. Will Rio Harris be able to fend off Wisburn here, go through the first sector of the track? I mean, Wisburn maybe trying to make it pressure at the minute, as he's definitely using some battery. But no, Rose onto the mediums. Interesting stuff. I mean, I feel like if he had a set of fresh hards, he could have gone for that. But I think, yeah, he already used them, I think, in the first stint. He's down to 8th, though. I mean, it's going to be a fight back here from Rose if he's going to be able to do it. But, I mean, I want to say the gap there, actually, is not as bad as I think. Yeah, 15 seconds. I mean, this is doable, actually, from Rose. On some fresh mediums, he's going to be probably at least a second or 2 quicker each lap. So it'll take him pretty much no time to catch up to Hazard, who also needs to stop again. Hinson may need to stop again, as he's the one running the hard for the longest amount of time. And technically, nothing has been said about these guys even having to stop again as well. They might have to stop again, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm assuming these two are up here going over a one stop. I mean, they have to do something different to Rose, because otherwise they're just going to sort of lose the lead, and that'll be them done. Anyway, though, Hazard gets past the Nat Packers. There are some amazing moves being made in the turn 9 and turn 10 chicane, and I'm not seeing them, and I'm so sad I'm not seeing them. But anyway, Nat Packers has been, yeah, overtaken by Hazard there. And this is what I said, they're running 5-6 at the minute. I mean, obviously, people have box. I think either Kodoy and Rosen will get ahead of him. Was Hazard box? Was Hazard boxer, sorry. Which might be the stat, but yes, it is. Nat Packers has maybe thought about following him in then, but decides to go and stay out just one more lap, use the DRS benefit that he might have from him, and he'll be all okay to go and keep going on his set of tyres. Anyway, though, Hazard, let's see what he filters out here, because he might be behind these two, which, I mean, won't be spelling disaster to his race, but definitely will hinder a bit. I think Hazard actually might be behind him. Here he is going up the pits. He might get ahead of Cole Pillow. It'll be very close. Cole Pillow might have him on the brakes in turn 1. He will. Hazard gets out and gets cleared by both Cole Pillow and Kodoy. Cole Pillow, obviously, on the harder compound with a few extra laps under him there, so he might have some issues there. As Wisburn on the outside of Rio Harris here, side by side, it's turn 9 and 10. Will either of them back out? Looks like they aren't. Maybe a little bit of contact there, actually, as well. I don't know if Rio Harris did have contact, but Wisburn sails into the lead, and this might be full position. They decide to go for a 116 into the race. And Wisburn just took it right around the outside. Don't know if there's any contact, but yeah, brilliant stuff there from the Williams, and he is on currently for some great result. And Rose at the minute, I mean, he's making moves. I mean, if we take out the gap to leader here, look, it's probably about 2 laps I brought this up. It's now 11 seconds, so he's gained about 2 seconds per lap at the minute. You can see just how much a grip difference is helping him here. Nat Packer's just, yeah, coming to the pits here. Not deciding to get in Rose's way at the end of it. He will have to go and probably fight Hazard once he gets back down to it. Cole Pillar actually out in DRS, out DRS of Kodoi now. So Hazard realistically does need to clear this Ferrari. Let's see if he can do it on this straight and maybe try and get Nat Packer's with it as well. But that dirty air was really hindering there. Definitely had to go get out the throttle in that final corner. Let's have a look though on the overhead shot. Never mind, the overhead shot has decided to go away from us. Anyway though, Hazard is well ahead of Nat Packers there. Actually by a few seconds there. That's actually quite surprising. I don't think the undercut was going to be that powerful. But no, Hazard doing a pretty nice first out lap there. And definitely sticking to the back of Cole Pillar at the minute. He'll probably decide to make that move eventually. Rhea Harris also though, makes it past Wisburn here. Let's actually see here though, if these two are going to keep fighting, I mean, what is their real game plan here for when Rose comes up? Because they're going to have to work together at least somewhat. They're going to want to win this race, at least one of them anyway. They're going to have to work together. I mean, passing and repassing will work, as long as they do it efficiently. But yeah, they need to save their batteries, everything like that. I mean, they're on about 60% in the minute, but they need to go and save probably a little bit more at the minute. As Cole Pillow is going to get past my Hazard here around the outside. I just cut off the wrong camera board there, as I tried going backwards to Hazard. But it went to that Packers, but yeah, Hazard sail around the outside there of Cole Pillow. Skills down, here we go. Yeah, look, he decides he's not going to cope with the tyre wear. He's into the pits. Oh, Henson looks like he's going to keep going on them. Jeremy South also doing his best maybe to go a little bit further on in this race, but I think he has to come off their mediums at some point at least. I mean, 12 laps on mediums already will be quite hard to go and deal with, but I doubt he's going to take their mediums to the end of the race. Henson, he might decide to. I mean, you want to say hard tyres at this point? Probably about 40-odd%, I'm going to say. I mean, maybe the front runners have a little bit more in their pocket, because obviously Henson and Jeremy South, both of them probably struggled with a bit of dirty air. And look, you see Henson having a big wobble there on the exit of that curb. So it's just only going to drive up tyre wear if he keeps doing that sort of thing. But it tells you at the minute there, he has tyre wear. He's struggling for a bit of grip out there at the minute. Let's see how well he does through this section of track. Yeah, definitely a lot easier. Cars off, Kodoi out, and that is a big crash there, and that is a safety car. Interesting stuff. So now, Rhea Harris, Wisburn, absolutely jumped Rose now. Rose trying to go on a recovery drive, unfortunately not worked for him. Jeremy Sapp also sticking out this long has helped him a lot. However, he does have that penalty to go and negotiate with 6 seconds as well. Not going to do too much for his race there, but yeah, both these drivers in the front here into the pits. I believe that both of these guys are also going to go. Oh, Jeremy Sapp gets a 10-second penalty as well. He is going to drop behind Henson for sure, at least at the flag. But I don't need to be able to, be able to probably jump him into here. Yeah, definitely Henson is up behind. But most people here choosing mediums. Thought I'd expect to see a soft tyre here, but apparently not. Hazard also decides not to box. He only boxed about 1 or 2 laps ago. So he will decide to keep going out on this tyre. Looks like he's going to be all okay to inherit P7 at the minute. But this is interesting though. Only, 3 teams, sorry, actually, are going to have 2 double point scorers, but I think some people are going to be very angry with what's happened in this race. I don't know if Kodoi has made a mistake on his own or not, because it's quite common to make mistakes out there. Not sure if that is 100% the case though. Yeah, unfortunate though. For Kodoi, and there's only just 10 runners left in this race. It's been quite bad for the minute, but Henson, his strategy with 1 stop may have been ruined, but at least he's in a net P4 for his cause. Same with Jeremy South, he may have had to go and pit again, but he's got a nice pit under the safety car. It's just that 6-second penalties would have ruined him there for the rest of this race. But Rhea Harris and Wisburn, they must be laughing out in front. I mean, unless these 2 crash, I don't see how they are going to finish 1 and 2 here. Unless Rose can make easy pickings of Jeremy South and Henson, and then just glide up to the front 2 like it's nothing. But I don't think even Rose can really do that here, because obviously Henson and Jeremy South, they're going to need to fight for positions as much as they can. Now Henson, obviously with Constructors' Championship, he wants to go and make as many points up for the Haas as he can. Hazard as well, currently in a net P4 actually, because of these penalties. Obviously Jeremy South there, the outlier, with 16 seconds as he spent the pit lane, 6 seconds for track limits. Not sure he's going to actually pit to get our move here. I mean, surely he has to, right? I at least believe that's probably the best thing to do. Let's have a look. Will he do it? No, decides against it. Jeremy Saff deciding just to stick it out on the 16 seconds penalties. Not really too sure why, to be honest. I mean, I honestly say I'd rather go back down to the back of the grid with a set of fresh tyres if he had them. But I think that actually is the issue there for Jeremy Saff. He might not have the fresh tyres to go and do with it, so he probably is just hanging himself out on these medium tyres, hoping to God that these 16 seconds somehow to bring him ahead of a few people. But yeah, we're just going to wait for Essex Perry to come round now. He might actually come to the pitch, to be honest. He's on 8 laps of mediums. No, decides not to. But yeah, I think probably just deciding here at the minute. If he's just going to run to the end of the race, might just capture the safety car as soon as possible, and then just hope that there's some chaos ahead that he can maybe take advantage of. But yeah, at the minute he's up in P10. Obviously, last of the runners, but I think Essex Perry won't mind too much if he's getting points. Yeah, might as well. So someone rate people's helmets. I know this is Jimmy, but yeah, I mean, I can't really rate people's helmets from here, to be honest with you. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really squint to see the helmets, to be honest with you. I think there's someone. I think Rio Harris has an Alpine helmet on there, or at least something very similar. I'm not rating the driver numbers. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I can't see the helmets. I'm quite honest with you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm literally just squint for these. And most of the off-board shots here are just well far away from the driver. I mean, they gave me the shortest rise and more with a halo. I might be able to give you that, but no, never mind. Safety car is that. I'm not rating liveries. That is silly. Anyway, though, yeah, Rio Harris here, keeping to that 50-mile-an-hour limit that we usually have under a safety car, and let's see what he does. As the pack is bunched up. It's definitely quite congested though. For only 10 cars, it's very congested actually. For a safety car restart. But will he go early here, Rio Harris? I mean, he's definitely letting the safety car have a bit more of a drag. He's making sure he's going a little bit faster than this though. Yeah, look, he's gone immediately. Look at this. Definitely going a lot quicker than what some people might think. But yeah, he's gone. The safety car is in the pits. He can just keep going now. I think some people might actually be caught out by that. I mean, their skills stand well away from the pack at the minute. There's Hazard trying to go back towards him as well. And that Packers didn't really get a good restart either. But the top two keeping very close to each other. Rose also next to our Henson at the minute. Hopefully for him, he does not try and do anything a bit shady here. He knows he needs to make some moves. He's going to use a bunch of battery. When he try and dive on the inside, he does not. On our Henson so far, he used quite a bit of battery there too. Probably trying to make it happen, but nothing did happen at the end of it. Jeremy Saff goes wide. He's got to make sure not to be a bit dangerous on the rejoin. Looks like he's only just got away with that one, but that's going to clump our Henson and Rose right next to each other now. Let's see what is going to happen here. As Jeremy Saff has got to be under pressure now from both our Henson and Rose. Whoever has got the best straight line speed, whoever's got the best slipstream here, Rose is determined. He's using a bunch of battery for this. But I don't think anyone's going to be able to make a move here at all. Yeah, no. Our heads to the sides. Let's wait until the next chicane to maybe go and do it. Let's see. Will Rose think of the same thing in a minute? Yeah, he is. He's going to turn the battery. Our Henson is also going to turn the battery here. Jeremy South looks like he's going to get past here for our Henson for the P3 spot, but it's going to be very tight. Looks like a little bit of wheel banging there. Jeremy South just sneaking ahead in a minute. Almost contact with the pair of them. And Rose practically pushing our Henson through this final corner. Final set of corners at the minute, but somehow Jeremy Saff still in third after all of that. And there's a little bit of contact there again with Rose, trying to be really optimistic there, going on the inside into the last corner. Let's see though, will Rose try anything? I mean, realistically, I don't know what our heads should really do here. I mean, I don't know if he really should let him go, or just make sure he passes Jeremy Saff first. I mean, obviously it's down to him, but I would probably want to say here for our heads' sake, I think he needs to get past Jeremy Saff ASAP, but then let Rose through, because Rose, he's probably going to need to support our heads if he wants to break that 3-second gap. If Jeremy Saff, well, he's really going to be the bottleneck for him, Rose, and possibly Skills as well, because he's actually keeping with the DRS range of these guys as well. Let's have a quick look to the front of the field, though, as I believe there could be a fight for the lead going towards turn 9 and 10. Let's have a look now on the straight. Wisburn, he's gaining all the time. Our Henson past Jeremy Saff. Wisburn looks like he's not going to make the move just yet. Rose also not making a move on our Henson so far, but Jeremy Saff falls from P3 to P5, and it's a bit of a bad exit there as well. Let's see if he's under threat from Skills down behind. Don't believe he's going to. Rose trying to go on the inside of our Henson, but nothing is happening either here. Rose probably getting a little bit frustrated each time he does this. Definitely wants to try and make some sort of move here. As our Henson probably a little bit slow for his opening in the first second. Jeremy Saff picking up a penalty. It's 19 seconds for him now. I think only a miracle could save him to get anything lower than P10. But look at that underseat. He might just have the damage there now. As yeah, he's definitely gone off the track. I don't know what's happened to him, but he is now done and probably out of this race. Our Henson, though, has got to now realistically just absolutely hammer the throttle down now. Keep with Rose if he can. Generally sabotage the session, understandably so. And he is going to be P10 and out of it. Joel Colpillo, the only scorer for Ferrari in this race. Skills Dan is on the back of our Henson, though, and our Henson not really making a good impression at the minute on Rose's. He's catching fast the guys ahead. Our Henson needs probably this P4 at the minute for the constructors, but he's gone a bit wide again. Might just take DRS off Rose, and he is only just. But at the minute, looks like nothing else is really going on. I mean, obviously our Henson, look at that. I mean, did say that they were going to be a lot better in the race. He's up 11 places at the minute, and he's still keeping with it. Our Henson gets no penalty. He really needs to hammer it now if he wants any sort of consolation for him. I mean, the best he's going to get at the minute, I think, is going to be P7. Hazard may jump into P6. Could be good for them in the Constructors' Championship. Who knows? But obviously, this might have McLaren scoring just that little bit better than them in the end of things. So just going to need to make sure that he is still doing decently enough. Hazard also on the back of that Packers. He needs to make a move on him if he wants a little bit more in that Constructors' fight. I mean, obviously focusing on this quite a lot, though, because, well, they could take the lead of the race. On the Constructors, sorry, not the race. They take the lead of the Constructors by the end of this race. So, don't know what's going to happen, but obviously, as of right now, House can still lead the Constructors' Championship despite their issues with these penalties. That's a very good penalty at the bottom of the field. Nothing too crazy for that in a minute, but look at this now. Rose used a lot of his battery. It's worked for him, but he's not really got the battery at the minute to sort of stick with these guys right now. Rio Harris at least having 80% there. Wisman having 90. But at least for Rose's sake, he's in that DRS window now. He's only on about 15% battery left and still going further down. But yeah, I mean, he's in the DRS. That's about all we can really say at the minute. And I think all he's going to hope for now is for a bit of a fight between these two as we get to the final few laps of this race. Obviously, safety car turn around quite a lot. But I think Rio Harris and Wisburn will have a fight on their hands with Rose. He is determined to make up more spaces at the minute. Skills down also looks like he's not really going to be able to make a move on our Henson at the minute, but our Henson can't shake him off either. So I believe our Henson will definitely drop down behind Skills Dan. Although to drop behind Nat Packers may not happen here. Nat Packers not really enjoying these sets of medium tyres on Hazard. I mean, if it's good for him, he might be able to make a move here on that Aston Martin. Let's have a quick look here, going down into turn 1 and 3. I don't believe anyone at the front is going to make a move here. Yeah, Rose will probably just sit and recharge his battery before overtaking Wisburn. But Hazard will need to go and make something happen here. Let's see, as he's going through sector 1 here, he's going to gain a little bit more, but Nat Packers not really fumbling under any sort of pressure there at the minute. But he is going quite slow. And right now, our Henson is going to be faking the law for that one at least. Because our Henson right now is about 5.4 seconds ahead, I want to say, of Nat Packers. And he might be getting overtaken by Skills Dan. But the best thing is now, just sort of have him take the DRS. But look at that though, Wisburn. Maybe try going on the inside there for some DRS. Maybe try going for a move, and he's almost lost it. He's got the ERS on and the DRS. He's almost lost that one. Coming out the corner, he's got to quickly regroup himself. That puts Rose up into second, but he's used a bunch of battery for that one. And that's going to wear out his tyres slightly on the back there. Will he even be able to still stick in DRS going into this final lap of the race? He only just manages to, but Rio Harris has seen one contender go. The other contender now on the back of him. Will he even make the move into turn 1? Let's see now. Rose's getting closer and closer. Rio Harris is harvesting. Let's see, will Rose take the bait, go and move into turn 1 as he goes to the final lap of the race? Don't think anything's going to happen at the minute, but Wisburn, crucial mistake there as he's trying to go for the lead, but he's out down to third. That's easy. 5 points lost if that is going to affect this race. Let's have a look. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to the rest of these guys by the end of the race unless these two have some serious fighting going on. But anyway, looks like Rio Harris has got about 30% more battery than Rose. Let's have a look now. Maybe 40% actually at this point. Let's see. Rio Harris looks like he's got 9-6 out there, but obviously Rose with the DRS and the ERS on, he's not got much ERS to play with, but DRS is now on for the Mercedes driver. Will he be able to catch up enough to try and make a move into turn 9 and 10 like how Wisman was doing? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. He's harvesting a lot though, Rose and Rio Harris. He's got to get the best out of this he can. Rio Harris moves to the inside, tries to go and defend some sort of air at this point. Rose doesn't think out the dive bomb. He knows it's too risky. Rio Harris just needs to make sure he gets it across the line now. He's only got one sector to go now. Rio Harris, I believe, like he did in the previous Australia race that we did all those seasons ago on F1 24, he is going to take the win now, as long as he can't get overtaken on the line here by Rose. I don't believe it's going to happen. Rio Harris takes the win ahead of Rose and Wisburn. Oh, Henson looks like he's managed to somehow take P5 after all of that. The skills Dan looks to me that he's going to get P4 for all the world of it, and Hazard, unfortunately for him, couldn't get past Sam Packers in the end, but a 5-7 for Haas could really take them high up in the Constructors' Championship and maybe even into the lead as we eventually calculate all the results eventually here. Cole Pillar, though, in P8, unfortunately for him, not really having much pace at the end of the race. And Essex Perry, obviously on the older tyres there, P9, maybe deciding to go for a set of soft tyres, I think, at the end of the race there. But I don't believe he got fast start by the end of that one. But anyway, decent round 2, I believe. I mean, obviously, with a lack of drivers, it's a bit unfortunate to see not much fight, or not as much fighting going on across the field. However, though, it's still been a fun race, and a top 3, while it does stay as it was in qualifying, other Blackburn having a bit of an issue. Nothing too bad in the end, I believe. Rio Harris takes the win, fast up there for Rose. Driver Day apparently saw Henson and won most overtakes. I can get behind that. P15 there to P5, so nothing too bad there from the game to actually suggest that one. But anyway, though, Rio Harris did clear Rose in the end of it to take P1. Rose would take P2. Oh my god, sorry. Rose would take P2. But he did have pole and fast start, so he only loses 1 point at the end to Rio Harris. I don't think he'll be too mad about that one at the end. Wisburn in P3 to at least have some consolation for almost decking it into the wall, really. Anyway, though, skills down, just missing out the podium there. P4, Henson managing to hold off his P5 spot ahead of Nat Packers, who also held off Hazard by the end of the race in P7. Colpillo a little bit nowhere, unfortunately, but he is in P8. Essex Perry also a bit nowhere, but he managed to survive the race in P9. Generally, South, fortunate for him to get a lot of penalties, but he is in P10 and out. He does at least get classified in the end of it, though. Kodoy, though, with no points at the end of it. CA Drama with no points. Aiden with no points. Blackman with no points. Exotic with no points, who rounds off our field. But yeah, horrible day for some teams here. Kick Sauber, the main ones. RB, who didn't even show up, we scored the same points as them after all of that. So unfortunate for them. But they'll definitely have to bounce back in the next race around Imola, which is in 1 week's time there. However, that was then, and this is now, and now is time to end the stream here. It's been a fun race. If any of you enjoyed it, just thank you for watching through the whole thing. I'm Miss Cookie. This has been BRL Season 12, Round 2 in Australia. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.